We're going to talk about how to choose a large language model that's going to work best for you in your food blogging journey. We're going to talk about two primary large language models, Claude and ChatGPT. There are a lot of options out there, many more than just those two. But as of right now, I would say those are the two leading industry standards that are really helpful for food bloggers and a lot of other people. They process language really well, and they're getting better day by day. There's a few differences between the two models, and I'm going to tell you right up front that I have a preference for ChatGPT for one particular feature that has been really helpful for me over the course of the last 2 years. It is a feature that did not exist a year ago, I believe. It's so hard to keep track at this point. Note that in a few weeks, the models could be a little bit different and more improved. I would say each time a new model comes out, it's better and better. And Claude very soon could have a similar feature. That said, just because ChatGPT is my preference, Claude does have some strengths in some other areas that might be helpful for you in certain situations. Claude is better at reading through large, dense documents of text and interpreting and synthesizing that information in a very accurate and condensed way. Those are Claude's strengths. Where ChatGPT for me has been way more helpful is that they have this one feature called a canvas document, which means in the conversation with the ChatGPT, you can open up a document and edit back and forth live. For me, I find that really helpful because despite the fact that Claude actually mimics natural speech more accurately, I can't edit live line by line or word by word. In Claude, I have to do it all through prompts. And for me, that's a barrier to getting really specific and being able to craft the writing to be really my voice. So for me, ChatGPT has been my go-to, and that's where I have done my most work. With the models, there's the free plan. I would highly suggest, if you haven't already, sign up for both, play around with the interface with the free plan, and then I would consider upgrading to that next. Quicker in its responsive, it will remember a lot more of your conversation if you go up to that next tier plan. And once you start using it, you're gonna really not blink an eye at $20 a month for this tool. Put an alarm or a calendar reminder to cancel the subscription a month from now if it is not working for you. I'm gonna share you my screen, explain what the two interfaces, or show you quickly what the two interfaces look like, and interact with this Canvas document so that you can get a sense of what I'm talking about. Just for context, I am going to be using ChatGPT throughout the rest of this mini course. It does not mean that you can't do the same thing in Claude. The only thing you wouldn't be able to do in Claude is this interact with the Canvas feature. You can still prompt Claude to make changes with the document, but it's going to be through prompts versus you being able to get in there with your cursor and delete something and rewrite a word. Okay, let's go to the screen. Okay, so now we're going to walk through what these two large language models look like, and I'm going to show you that Canvas feature that I find super helpful. So this is Claude and ChatGPT on the right. To be fair, I think Claude is much prettier. And ChatGPT is over here and visually basic, but definitely gets the job done. When you want to start a new chat, you can hit here or the screen will be showing up. Here, there's different ChatGPTs. I'll explain that more in a different video. You don't need to worry about that right now. And here are projects, which again, I'll explain more. Actually, not in the next video, the video after that. We're really going to get into projects in this mini course. But you're going to throw in your prompts here. You throw your prompts in Claude. Claude also has this sidebar over here, so there's all these chats that have gone on. Claude also has projects, so those are comparable in terms of their function there and their ability to take context documents. Again, we'll talk more about context documents very soon. All right, I have 2 chats going on here so that I could compare the conversation I had with these 2 models. So I came back here and asked it if we could work on a recipe and if it could put it in a document that we could edit. And so I threw in my rough draft recipe. This is a theory recipe. I haven't actually cooked it yet. I like to make a theory recipe first. And Claude will produce a document that can be hooked up to your Google Drive, which I have done. But I can't edit this document live. So for me, this is the limitation with Claude because I like to interact with it, and I find that that's the most powerful way to get really specific and be able to change sentences or words that I do or do not like. Now, this is the chat I actually had going on with the ChatGPT. I will get into some of this pre-conversation later, but we got to the point where I put in all of this information about how I wanted the recipe to be. And in this chat window, it has the recipe formatted cleaner, which again, we're going to get to how to get the ChatGPT to do that to your specifications, because mine already knows my specifications. Teasing all the future videos. But if I click on these, I can copy them, the response, but I cannot actually edit it. So right now I am going to ask it to, can you put this into a Canvas doc? I like to wait till the Canvas document is done. Then I'm going to come up here, see this little square here, and we're going to go into edit. Now, I'm going to just move this over to the bigger screen so you can see more of it. This is that chat we were in before, right? I can close this. This is the chat, and that chat's going to continue to appear, but on this side of the screen. So I'm going to go into edit. Now that chat is here, and we are inside a document that we can edit together. You can, if you need to see the chat more fully, you can toggle the screen back and forth. We'll go like that. But what's great about this is I can actually highlight words and say, change to chickpeas. I could also highlight it and just edit it myself, if that makes sense. So I can read through there and say finely chopped. I could just delete finely chopped. So I can interact with this document in a much more dynamic and granular way than I would be able to interact with this document. Here with Claude, I could say, please replace all mention of garbanzo bean with chickpea. But if I don't like one tiny thing, I have to go back and forth for all of those. And this takes time. And to me, in some ways, it's harder to figure out how to prompt it to make all of those changes than to just get in here and work on a document that you're used to. It's similar to working in a Google Doc. I will note that sometimes when you try to click in here, it can be a little hard. There's this set of icons over here. So if you're having a hard time hitting it, head over here. I can also talk to it over here. So I changed this to chickpea, that changed. Let's look down here. Chickpeas. Okay. So let's go the other way. Let's try, please replace all mention of chickpeas with garbanzo beans. So it should have replaced all mention of chickpeas with garbanzo beans. Note that it says beans twice now. So we'll just come in here and delete it. So this is what I really like about ChatGPT, is that I can interact with the actual document and not have to work through
solely through prompts. If this was a blog post and I forgot to say some story about how my youngest child only likes chickpeas when you peel off the skins, I don't know. I could come in here, add a paragraph, and then ask it to rewrite it for clarity. So those are some nice things that I can work with directly in this document. I'll show you more about that in the next few videos, and I will also explain some opportunities to do this text-to-speech. When you're done with this Canvas feature, you're going to X out of here, and then you can continue in your chat. And depending on what kind of project you're working on, you can open a new Canvas document in this chat, or you can just keep editing this same Canvas document. So you can have a lot of Canvas documents in one chat, or you can continue to edit that same Canvas document with new elements. There are a lot more elements of this ChatGPT that I will go into in further videos. The primary goal of this video was to explain why I use ChatGPT over Claude, and know that I am going to walk you step by step through how to use this interface. So I did gloss over a bunch of fundamental things here about how to get set up with ChatGPT, but that was intentional. This is a video about why I've continued to choose ChatGPT over and over again. Again, that could change very quickly, and I know that can be one of the frustrating things about AI is how quickly it moves. As of now, this is my favorite feature. If you look at Claude 3 weeks from now and they have a similar feature, let's dive into that too. As you choose a large language model to work with, do not worry that you're choosing the wrong one. You are just using this one as a sandbox right now. Get into it. You're going to do a bunch of projects, and regardless of which one you choose, you're going to learn a lot about how this large language model works. If you then decide to go move to the other one, yes, there'll be some slight variations in how it works, but a lot of the principles you learn by using it will apply to other large language models.